If you're one of the millions of women who've had a cesarean delivery, you're probably wondering when you can start exercising again and which movements are actually safe for your healing body. Here's the truth that might surprise you. Gentle movement, when done correctly, can actually accelerate your recovery and help you feel like yourself again much faster than just lying around waiting. Today, I'm going to walk you through a complete 3-phase exercise plan specifically designed for cesarean recovery. We'll cover everything from the first week after surgery all the way through to getting back to full fitness. And I promise you'll leave this video knowing exactly what to do and when to do it safely. But first, let me address the elephant in the room. I know you're eager to get your body back, lose that baby weight, and feel strong again. That's completely natural. However, rushing back into intense workouts too soon can actually set your recovery back weeks or even cause serious complications. The approach I'm sharing today is designed by medical professionals and fitness experts specifically for post-cesarean recovery, so you can trust that every exercise has been carefully selected for your safety. Let's start with phase 1, which covers your first 2 weeks after surgery. During this crucial period, your body is literally healing from major abdominal surgery. Your incision needs time to close properly, your abdominal muscles need to reconnect, and your entire core system needs to begin the rebuilding process. This isn't the time for crunches or planks, but that doesn't mean you should be completely sedentary. The first exercise is diaphragmatic breathing, also called belly breathing. This might seem too simple to be effective, but it's actually one of the most important things you can do right now. Proper breathing helps reduce swelling, promotes circulation, prevents blood clots, and gently begins to reactivate your deep core muscles without straining your incision. Here's how to do it. Lie down comfortably or sit in a chair with good back support. Place one hand on your chest and one on your belly. Breathe in slowly through your nose, allowing your belly to rise while keeping your chest relatively still. Then exhale slowly through your mouth, letting your belly fall naturally. Aim for 10 breaths, 3 to 4 times throughout the day. The second exercise focuses on pelvic floor awareness. Now, I'm not talking about full Kegel exercises yet, just gentle awareness and activation. Your pelvic floor muscles have been through a lot during pregnancy and delivery, even with a cesarean. So we want to gently remind them how to work properly. You can do this lying down, sitting, or even standing. As you exhale, gently engage your pelvic floor muscles as if you're trying to stop the flow of urine. Hold this light contraction for about 10 seconds, then relax completely. The key word here is gentle. You're not trying to squeeze as hard as possible, just creating awareness and light activation. Repeat this 5 times twice a day. Next, let's work on circulation with foot and ankle exercises. These are incredibly important for preventing blood clots and reducing swelling in your lower legs, which is common after surgery and during the recovery period when you're less active than usual. Start with ankle pumps. Simply point your toes forward and then flex them back toward your shins. Do this 10 times. Then try toe spreading. Spread your toes wide apart and then relax them. Again, 10 repetitions. Finally, do ankle circles. Rotate your feet clockwise 10 times, then counterclockwise 10 times. These simple movements help pump blood back up to your heart and reduce the risk of dangerous clots forming. For your upper body, gentle arm raises are perfect for maintaining shoulder mobility after surgery. Lying down, simply raise your arms overhead and lower them back down. This helps prevent stiffness from lying in bed and maintains range of motion in your shoulders and upper back. 10 repetitions is plenty. During these first 2 weeks, gentle walking inside your home is not just safe, it's encouraged. Start with just a few minutes at a time, listening to your body and never pushing through pain. This light movement helps with circulation, prevents complications, and can actually help with pain management by releasing natural endorphins. Now let's move to phase 2, which covers weeks 3 through 10 post-surgery. By this point, your incision should be healing well, and your body is ready for slightly more challenging movements. However, we're still avoiding any jumping, crunching motions, or heavy lifting. Always listen to your body and stop if you experience any pain, especially around your incision site. The pelvic tilt is an excellent exercise for gently reactivating your deep abdominal muscles. Lying on your back with knees bent, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, gently tilt your pelvis to press your lower back into the floor. Hold for a few seconds, then release. This movement helps retrain your core muscles to work together properly and can help with lower back pain that's common during recovery. Heel slides are another safe way to begin strengthening your core. Lying with knees bent, slowly slide one heel away from your body, extending your leg, then slide it back. The key is to keep your lower back pressed to the floor throughout the movement and engage your abdominal muscles gently. Alternate legs and aim for 10 repetitions on each side. The modified bridge exercise is fantastic for strengthening your glutes and beginning to rebuild your posterior chain. Lying with knees bent, gently lift your hips toward the ceiling. Hold for 5 seconds, then lower slowly. This exercise helps counteract all the forward posturing from carrying and feeding your baby, and it's completely safe for your healing incision. For spinal mobility, try the seated cat-cow stretch. Sitting in a chair with your back straight, alternate between arching your back and rounding it forward. This helps loosen tight back muscles and maintains healthy spinal movement patterns. Don't forget about your arms with simple arm circles. Whether sitting or standing, make slow circles with your arms to maintain shoulder mobility and improve posture. This is especially important if you're spending a lot of time hunched over while feeding or caring for your baby. Continue with all the exercises from phase 1, and now you can add seated marching. Sitting in a chair, simply lift alternate knees one at a time. This adds a gentle cardio element and begins to challenge your core stability in a safe way. Walking can now extend beyond your home. Start with short outdoor walks, gradually increasing distance as you feel stronger. Fresh air and gentle movement outdoors can do wonders for both your physical and mental recovery. Phase 3 begins after 10 weeks post-surgery, when your body has significantly healed and you're ready for more challenging exercises. Remember, this is your personal journey, not a race. Some women might be ready for this phase a bit earlier. Others might need more time. Always consult with your healthcare provider before advancing to more intense exercises. The bird dog exercise is excellent for core stability and coordination. Starting on your hands and knees, extend opposite arm and leg simultaneously. Hold for 3 to 5 seconds, then return to starting position. Switch sides and repeat. This exercise challenges your core in multiple planes while being completely safe for your healing abdominal muscles. Supported side planks help build lateral core strength. Lying on your side with knees bent, lift your hips off the floor and hold for 10 to 15 seconds. This targets muscles that are often neglected but crucial for overall core stability and back health. Glute bridges can now be held for longer periods and performed with more intensity. Focus on really squeezing your glutes at the top of the movement and holding for 15 seconds. Strong glutes are essential for good posture and can help prevent lower back pain. The bear plank is a modified version of a traditional plank that's perfect for post-cesarean recovery. Starting on hands and knees, lift just your knees off the ground while keeping your core engaged. Hold for 10 seconds initially, building up to longer holds as you get stronger. Chair squats are a safe way to begin building lower body strength. Using a chair for support and as a depth guide, perform controlled squats, focusing on proper form rather than speed or intensity. Wall push-ups allow you to begin rebuilding upper body strength without putting pressure on your abdominal area. Start with your hands against a wall at arm's length and perform controlled push-ups, gradually increasing repetitions as you build strength. Cardio becomes increasingly important in this phase. Brisk walking for 30 to 45 minutes, 3 to 5 times per week, is ideal. You might also consider low-impact activities like stationary cycling, starting with shorter sessions and building up gradually. Step touches with arm swings provide an excellent indoor cardio option that also improves coordination and shoulder mobility. Dance-based movements can add fun to your routine while providing cardiovascular benefits. Throughout this entire journey, remember that your body accomplished something incredible. You grew and delivered a human being, then underwent major surgery. Healing takes time, and being patient with yourself isn't just recommended, it's essential for proper recovery. The exercises I've shared today, when combined with proper nutrition and adequate rest, will help you rebuild strength, improve your energy levels, and regain confidence in your body. Every woman's recovery is unique, so don't compare your progress to others. Focus on how you feel, celebrate small victories, and trust the process. Remember to stay hydrated, get adequate sleep when possible, and don't hesitate to reach out to your healthcare provider if you experience any concerning symptoms. Your body has been through a lot, and it deserves patience, care, and respect during this recovery period. If you found this guide helpful, make sure to share it with other mums who might benefit from this information. Recovery doesn't have to be a lonely journey, and supporting each other makes the process so much easier and more encouraging. Don't forget to grab the free download below. It turns today's insight into a simple step-by-step you can use in the moment.